What's up, guys? This is Tabletop Vibes, and today, after much anticipation and questions, I'm going to be doing my top 10 games in my collection. So let's dive in. I love board games, obviously. I play a lot of board games, but sometimes I don't get to all my board games that I have. But the ones that are in my top 10 really left an impression. So my first one, number 10, would be Vindication. So this game is great. I know there's like a lot of huge following behind it. A lot of people love it. There's a lot of expansions. I just think it's great. You're a wretched person that strands up on this island, and you're trying to pretty much regain your honor, save yourself. You're kind of going through this board, different things, gaining different traits, gaining different abilities, fighting monsters. I mean, the game gives you a little bit of everything, and it's beautiful, right? I have the player mat. I have, I think, a couple of different modular expansions, and you can add all these different things in to make the experience either harder, better, and it's just a really fun game on top of it. And so I've played a ton of times. It's one of the first YouTube videos that we did on the channel, and it's just a really great game. If you're looking for a game that it's like tile placement, you're trying to take over different tiles, you're gaining resources, you're spending resources, you're gaining companions, which I think is the really fun part in this game, then this is a game for you. There's a little take that, so that's kind of fun. You're mixing different colors because you have your primary colors, but then if you can make different colors meet, and then you have a better cube, and you can put different knowledge and wisdom and all these different kind of things. And so if that sounds like something that you would want to play, Vindication by Orange Nebula Games is great. All right, let's take a look at my number 9 game in my collection. And it's quite recently new to my number 9 because, well, I just got it a couple months ago, but it started to climb the charts. Revive by Aporta Games. This is awesome. You have like this kind of wasteland that you're trying to revive, and everybody has their own player board, and you can upgrade different tracks on that player board to unlock different things, and you're able to use those abilities to do more comboing. It's just a blast. It looks beautiful on the table, and it's really fun to play. That's my number 9. Okay, on to number 8. So, 8's my favorite number, by the way. And what is my number 8 game, you ask? Well, it's not actually available yet, but it is one of my favorite games right now to play in my collection and to teach people. It's easy to play, and it's Wish by Silverbow Games. And so in Wish, you're taking control of a genie or a djinn, and you're granting wishes to everybody, and you're kind of, each djinn has its own asymmetrical ability, and you're flying around granting wishes. So the cards are in 3. You have, grant 3 wishes. When you grant 3 wishes, then you can unlock your main ability and be able to do more actions. And so this game is a pretty good gateway game, I'd say, with some meat to it. So it's not hard to learn, and it's not hard to play, but each time you play, you kind of find different strategies and paths that you can take. This is my number 8, Wish. Okay, number 7 on my list has recently come into my collection, and I've started to play it a lot. It's a little bit heavier of a game, but it is fantastic. It is Scholars of the South Tigris. This is not for the faint of heart. It is one of Garphill Games' heavier games, I would say. But if you like architects, paladins, viscounts, this is for you. You're creating colors because you're trying to translate, because you're a scholar, trying to translate different scrolls to Arabic. And so in this game, you have color manipulation, so you have dice, and if I have a blue dice and a red die, it's now a purple die. So you're doing all this manipulation. There's you can climb up different tracks, research tracks. It's really heavy game, but it is a blast. So much fun to try to work out the puzzle and to find which way you want to do something, because sequence matters, and this one is climbing up my ranks real fast. Scholars by Garphill Games. All right, let's take a look at what my number 6 is. Okay, number 6 is Architects by Garphill Games. And so why is this one on my list too? So this was like my first love of Garphill Games. This game is great. It's a gateway, user-friendly game where people who don't usually game can learn it and pick it up really fast. It plays 6 players and it's not hard to teach. And you still get all of that strategy and back and forth and depth that you want in a game. It also has 2 expansions. Who doesn't love that? Architects by Garphill Games. Okay, let's dive into number 5. So my number 5 is a game that I play a ton and have played a ton with the expansions. And this is my brother and I's probably favorite game to play together. We play 4-player with the 2 of us, and it's so good. Champions of Midguard by Grey Fox Games. This game is great. Make sure you add in the Valhalla expansion because it makes a great game even better. This is like a dice game. You have your warriors. Each warrior is a different kind of die, and you're going out and you're sailing and you're fighting monsters and druggers and all these different kind of creatures and people and beasts to be the best Viking with the most points and glory. It is great. You have got to check it out if you've not ever played it. They also have a game called The Reavers of Midgard, but I would recommend Champs because it's a blast. Okay, let's check out my number 4. So my number 4 is a game that took me forever to get my hands on, but I now have 99.9% of it, except for the sound bases. If you don't know what that is already, it is Dwellings of Eldervale by Breaking Games. This game is beautiful. If you can't see this box or the inside of this box, it is just great. Each person takes on some clan, a faction, and you're trying to dwell in Eldervale and make the most points. But the catch is, your workers who get you stuff are the people that are dwelling, and then they stay there and you lose workers. And can you climb up the tracks on different factions and grab the aura and have the most points and buy your unlock your door cards and magic cards and multiply the color that your faction is and or others. And so fight monsters, epic battles, fight each other with your different asymmetric abilities for your workers, your wizard, your dragon. This game does it all, and it is a blast. Definitely check out Dwellings of Eldervale, my number 4. Okay, we checked out number 4. Let's take a look at number 3, which is Encyclopedia by Holy Grail Games. Oh man, this game is a beautiful, amazing game. You're taking your dice, you're rolling it, you're assigning them into different locations. The strength and pip of that dice does certain things and gets you certain stuff. And you got to research because you're building the encyclopedia. So get out there, check it out, research, come back and publish your findings in Encyclopedia, my number 3. And my number 2 is actually 2 games. What are they? Well, you'll see. It is Dune Uprising and Dune Imperium. Oh my gosh, I love these games. So, Dune Imperium is amazing. You have your worker placement with deck building, and then you have 2 expansions, Ix and Immortality, and then they just made Dune Uprising that kind of brings a huge new twist. It adds a kind of fun little things like Spy, Sandworms, a new board, 6 players, you can play 3 versus 3, and you can use Ix and or Immortality in Dune Uprising. So right now, I can't decide which one I like better, so I put both of them on my number 2 list. Dune Imperium, Dune Uprising, Direwolf Games. You've got to play if you haven't played it. Okay, now that we've made it through 10 to 2, let us check out my number 1 game in my collection, which might not come to us a big shock to all of you guys, but it is Wonderland Wars by Druid City Games. I love this game. I have over 50 plays in of this game. I now have the new expansion that fixed the player board for the Jabberwocky and the Mad Hatter. This game is just amazing. You got bag building, you have area control, you have drafting, you have everything you need. I mean, The premium version of this game, the deluxe chips, is the way to go. Do not play this game without it. They're beautiful. It feels great. And then everybody puts their hand out in the middle and then reveal who beats who, how much strength you move up. And then you get to be some of the fun characters from Wonderland's Alice, the Jabberwocky, the Mad Hatter, and the Queen, and Chesh. Who doesn't love Chesh? They're all due an asymmetrical ability. They all have different powers you can unlock. It is everything you would want for in a game, and I love it so much. So that was my top 10 games in my collection currently. Wow, it is so much fun to go through those all with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Comment your top game in your collection or what game that you're trying to find and want to have in your collection. I think my top number one game right now to have in my collection is Voidfall. It's a huge game as well, but it's on my top of my list. I love space. So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. This is Tabletop Vibes. This is my top 10 collection.